and a glimpse inside the locker room. Players' final few moments to prepare for the game and the task ahead. Clouds passing high over the 10th Avenue Bridge and the Mississippi River here in Minneapolis. A gorgeous scene. Welcome everybody to another presentation of the NBA live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and two Hall of Famers. Doris Burke here at the table, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
In 2018, the Minnesota Timberwolves broke their league-leading 14-year playoff drought with the help of Jimmy Butler. But a year later, Butler demanded a trade, and the Wolves were back in the lottery. They've got some young talent, but in the West, it's no cakewalk. Kevin, they are hoping they can take that next step with new management and some young, exciting players.
All right, David, thanks. Well, we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Towns.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Here are the five for the Raptors. Van Vliet and Lowry are the 1 and the 2. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. And for the Timberwolves, they've got Towns. Russell is out there with Culver. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the 4 spot.
You think about the Timberwolves, the one thing that seems elusive for this organization has been consistency. They have had the talent. They've had good coaching. The problem is they haven't yet put those two areas together.
And so off the tip, it's Toronto. Outside Lowry. Siakam outside. Shoots over Culver. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. And the Wolves, Doris, one of only 11 franchises to have never won a championship. In fact, they've made the Western Conference Finals only once.
I think one of their challenges, at least in this latest run, has been they're competing with a very young core. And certainly you have added veterans to the group. The problem is the core guys have to understand how to step up when it's winning time. What we understand is playoff performance is most important.
Here's Culver. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. To the paint and stolen by Siakam. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Johnson wide open. He fires. Good on the three-point shot.
Well, the increased playmaking ability of Pascal Siakam on display. Pretty pass.
Now Russell. An 11-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
And what a wrecking ball defensively, seen by the 4 steals he had in that game.
Okogie for 3. The rebound by Johnson. So for the Timberwolves, their last game a win against Indiana. And it's Russell with the rebound. Minnesota off to a slow start. 7-point differential. This their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
Should be an interesting game as these teams don't see a lot of each other being from different conferences.
Right, they'll meet 2 times this year, East versus West. Let's see which team can enforce their style of play.
Towns.
Well, it can't get worse than this. 0 for 4 to start.
The Timberwolves again can't hit. For Toronto, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's Van Vliet. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Russell passes to Towns. Over Siakam. And Towns gets it to go.
There it is. After 4 straight misses, finally nail one.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Gasol finds Van Vliet. Culver with the steal. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Good work defensively by Gasol.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
A shot by Lowry. Wide open. And the Raptors miss again. Timberwolves trail by 5. Here's Culver. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
Impressive awareness from Karl Anthony Towns. Dependable at finding teammates with a terrific look there.
And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And Towns, a player who took a little bit of time adjusting from the college game at Kentucky to the NBA game, especially, Doris, on the defensive end.
I do think you have to appreciate over the last several seasons Karl Anthony Towns' commitment to becoming a better defender. Listen, he has the length to not only block shots, but to alter shots, and you just want him to have consistent effort on that end.
And here we have an opportunity to check out Karl Anthony Towns. The past month has been surreal. First in rebounding, second in blocks, and he sits in the top 15 in points per game. An absolute powerhouse offensively.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint. Now Russell, after the missed 3 from Marc Gasol. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, and you realize he's just getting started in the league, his future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most skilled big men to ever play the game.
And the first one at the line is good. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
Couple teams now, Doris, slumping here in the middle of the season. How can they avoid lengthy cold streaks, the absence of wind?
Yeah, I think this is where veteran leadership can become such an integral part of the success over the course of a long season. This is the point when you start to lose games, you can sort of break apart and splinter, and that is where that veteran leadership in the locker room, just to keep everybody unified, can be so critical.
And that attacking mindset, when Culver sees an opportunity like that, he just grabs it.
Lowry deciding where to go with it here. Here's Gasol. Here's Van Vliet. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. The Timberwolves trail. And here's Russell. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Hernan Gomez kicks to Culver. Hernan Gomez down low. He's guarded by Johnson. It's good.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Toronto's gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Van Vliet passes to Siakam. Got a hand on it. Here's Okogie. Down low, Hernan Gomez. That shot, no good. Good D by Siakam. Johnson left side. Pass to Siakam. Lowry against Russell. Drops in the layup for 2.
Well, small frame, but big heart. How about Kyle Lowry's toughness on the finish through contact?
Russell with it. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. That's tipped, and they're able to recover. Shot clock at 5. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here. No good from Hernan Gomez.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling. Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
Here's Culver. Here's Towns. Some solid defense from Gasol. Raptors with the lead. Siakam kicks to Johnson. From deep. It doesn't go for him. And Minnesota now the other way. Here's Culver. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Indiana. The dish now to Russell. And there's the pass to Culver. Unloads from 13. And Russell with the basket on the assist by Culver.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's coming off a 10-point game against Washington.
And his court vision was extraordinary, too. Let's not forget that. He was flawless passing the ball.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Johnson, he's checked in for Hernangomez. Jake Layman comes in for Culver. And it's Beasley in for Josh Okogie. Then for the Raptors, Serge Ibaka is checked in for Gasol. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Stanley Johnson. And it's Powell in for Fred Van Vliet. Now here is Lowry. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Washington. Siakam finds Lowry, takes a three. That shot off the mark. Excellent D there from Beasley. So for the Timberwolves, their last game, a win against the Pacers in Indiana.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
Well, how about the job they got from their bench? That productivity was a major part of the outcome.
A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
Hey, yo, get on
Russell against Lowry. Out left to the wing. Here's Layman. Rebound by the Raptors. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And sometimes you can make a few plays here and there, but never get into a real rhythm. That's what happened to them in that game.
I'll tell you, that's a great way to put it, Greg, because I thought they were all over the place. They never settled into any kind of rhythm.
Doris, when you watch the game now, Biggs playing on the perimeter, who can really defend and hold their own outside the lane that you've seen?
Well, you think about a guy at the rim like Clint Capella, who is a great shot-blocking force. But in today's NBA, he's got to be able to guard the pick and roll, make the necessary switch. And because Capella has got great feet and because he can move laterally so quickly, he might be 6'10", 6'11", but he can get out and switch in the pick and roll. It is a thing of beauty to watch.
That free throw missing. Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup. And for a franchise searching for stability, it doesn't help that the Wolves have had a number of head coaching changes.
Well, obviously, the Wolves aren't alone in that problem, Greg. I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life.
Now, here is Lowry. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game. Now recovering. Kicks to Beasley. Passes to Spellman. Over Ibaka. Spellman with the bucket. Spellman's got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves. Toronto's gone a meager 1 of 6 from three-point land since we got started tonight. Powell finds Ibaka. A floater. The shot by Powell, no good.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
And it's Layman in the corner. From outside, off the mark. Raptors shooting just 35% to start the game. Here's Hollis Jefferson. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Now Lowry. Pass to Ibaka. They get the rebound. That one, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And Toronto choosing their team name back in '94. The fans helped them narrow it down, and with dinosaurs all over the silver screen, it helped tilt things towards the Raptors.
And we all remember those early uniforms, those giant velociraptors across the front. Fortunately, they've toned it down a bit since then.
Here's McCall. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot. Greg frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
Now here's Johnson. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Here's Beasley, and it's good. 2 points. Beasley's got 5 points so far.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
Toronto trailing. Ibaka outside. Here's Powell, and the shot goes in.
I'll tell you, I'd love to see someone take the contact head-on, and Norman Powell welcoming the challenge.
Minnesota's gone 0 of 3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Pass to Layman. Johnson inside. Takes it from 10. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Here's Powell, following the score by James Johnson. Here's the teardrop. That one drops for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Beasley left side. Lets it go from 14. It's not going to go for him. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Here's McCaw, and there are the Raptors with another bucket. .30 seconds left in the first quarter. Johnson at the elbow. 17 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Layman got a piece of it.
Wow, fantastic to see Hollis Jefferson hit it twice on the pipes. Extends out and sends it back.
That's a 2 from Powell. But they get it back. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. It's the Raptors. They lead by a bucket. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. One of the most high-powered scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns, knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar, you know, so making sure you're not just being a ball hog. So I'm just always trying to make sure that I'm taking wide open shots that I think everyone in the team would love for me to take if I have the opportunity. But also at the end of the day, making sure everyone gets a chance to be in the candy shop.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. What do you guys think about the Raptors here in this one?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Anunoby out there with Ibaka. Then there's Norman Powell. And it's McCaw in at the 2 guard.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. Of course, you can't help but notice that teams are shooting earlier in the shot clock. One theory being the faster you shoot, the more possessions you get.
Well,
and the numbers would speak to that.
No doubt, Kevin. And the reality is, for announcers and for fans, that breakneck pace makes it more exciting for us. One NBA coach told me this past year that your field goal percentage in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock gives you your best opportunity to make it. And the longer that shot clock goes on, the more your field goal percentage dips. So, hey, good for us, good for the fans, good for the teams.
And that's because the defense has a chance to settle, correct?
Exactly right.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And Ibaka slams it in.
Well, a high percentage scorer with a great shot selection. Ibaka knows when to send it home.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. But he's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in LA, many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. And that's a foul called on Malik Beasley. That's his first foul. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Culver's checked in. And Toronto also making a switch. Fred VanVleet is checked in for Norman Powell. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Here's McCaw, covered by Beasley. McCaw, the pass to VanVleet. Clock at 4. Trying to get open is Ibaka. It's deflected. Fast break, Minnesota. Now, here's Culver, covered by VanVleet.
Boy, great extension from Ibaka. His length always a factor.
Juan Hernangomez, he's checked in for Minnesota. Okogie comes in for Malik Beasley. Raptors also changing it up. Gasol comes in for OG Anunoby. And it's Stanley Johnson in for Rondé and Hollis Jefferson.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
The Raptors shooting around 40% from the floor here. Now here's VanVleet. Defense right on him. Lays it up and banks it in. VanVleet's got it all tied up now for Toronto.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
There's the pass to Culver. Timberwolves passing it around. Spellman the pass to Okogie, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Okogie's got the lead back up to 2 now for Minnesota. For Toronto, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Van Vliet kicks to Johnson. Back to Van Vliet. Pass to McCaw. Back to Van Vliet. From deep. But they'll get another chance. Here's Ibaka. They shoot again. Herman Gomez grabs the miss. Herman Gomez has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Culver passes to Spellman. His first miss, now 3 of 4 from the field. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. Trailing by 2. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Ron Gomez trying to break free. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And here now on the 2K leaderboard, the best distributors in the league. The point guards with the most assists per game this season. And you look at Van Vliet, currently 5th in the league in assists. Such court vision.
And obviously assists are the name of the game at the point guard position. And that's not lost on these guys. It's all about making their teammates better.
You know, you're right. Looking at some of the best teammates in the NBA right there. Each of those players such a joy to play with. Because when they're at the helm of an offense, the ball's always moving, everyone's involved, the game just flows. Guys, how about the journey of the Raptors' Nick Nurse? So well traveled before taking the head job in Toronto. This guy has shown his worth in his first season as a head coach in the NBA. It translates to a title. Absolutely incredible.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Amari Spellman. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And Coach Nick Nurse paid some dues, Doris, before his turn as head coach of this Toronto team.
Well, think about it. Early in his career, he's a player coach in the British Basketball League. Then he goes and establishes a G League franchise in his home state of Iowa. Then to lead that team to a title in 2011, join another G League team for the Raptors and win a title in 2013. Really an incredible journey, guys.
For Minnesota, they have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
And he can't get the first one. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
I remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Now, here is Russell, covered by Van Vliet. Pass to Hernan Gomez. To the left side wing. And it's blocked by Ibaka. And here is Siakam. He's coming off a 31-point game against Washington.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Over in the corner. Pass to Towns. And Towns throws it down.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Raptors trail by 3. Van Vliet with it. He has 6. Ibaka outside. The pass to Siakam. Unloads. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
I'll tell you, it feels all night like this guy's been forcing shots, rushing shots. He's really struggling on the offensive end.
And Doris, last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
The first free throw is good.
You know, one dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves, over the years, they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
And Toronto making a change here. Lowry's checked in. Second free throw, no good. And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop, but you don't finish the possession with a rebound. That can wear you out physically and mentally.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
The Raptors shooting their third free throw shot of the game. Free throw good, Van Vliet. Undrafted out of Wichita State, Fred Van Vliet, never the most heralded player, Doris. But you know, he says he bet on himself, and it's worked.
No doubt. Van Vliet's belief in himself gets him a 2-year, $18 million contract. But I think beyond that, this man, in the moments that mattered most in the playoffs, proved that Fred Van Vliet will deliver.
Here's Okogie. Deep 2 from Russell. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. And the Timberwolves lead by 3.
You can see what a gifted player and scorer D'Angelo Russell is. Defense doesn't deter him.
Now here is Lowry. Passes it to Gasol. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. 6 points for Marc Gasol.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Here's Hernangomez. Back to Towns. Banked in off the glass. Towns has got 9.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
Raptors trail by 3. Van Vliet kicks to Ibaka. Pass to Lowry. Over in the corner, Gasol. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Really flowing here. Here's Hernangomez. And he uses the glass on the layup. Hernangomez has got the lead up to 5 now for the Timberwolves.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Siakam passes to Ibaka. Outside Lowry. Back to Ibaka. The shot off that time. Towns with the defensive effort. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance. And taking a look now at stats for Gasol, he's been more than solid over the last month. He's averaging 11 points a game, 11 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks. And he does the heavy lifting on the glass, throwing himself into the rebounding battle with just complete effort.
Well, you get the feeling he believes every rebound should be his, and most of them are. This guy is putting up tremendous numbers.
And he makes the first.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Johnson, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. And Jake Layman subbed in for Culver. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Toronto. Norman Powell comes in for Fred VanVleet. And so he makes both from the line. And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the Raptors. 7-point differential. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Here's Siakam. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Out of Cameroon, Pascal Siakam, drastically improved last year, Doris. Is he the prototypical modern power forward?
He is, Kevin, and there's a few reasons why. The guy can rip and run. He can space the floor. He is switchable on the perimeter defensively. He can go inside, outside. Everything you want in terms of versatility, Pascal Siakam brings to the table.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Boy, you look at all the athletes on this team. How about Pascal Siakam? This guy may be the fastest power forward in the NBA. And if you couple that with ball handling, this guy is tremendous in transition.
Malik Beasley, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Siakam hits them both. And the speed and quickness of Siakam, not just an asset in transition. Doris, defensively, he is something special.
There is no doubt at 6'9", but he's got a 7'3" wingspan. Siakam's combination of length and mobility, tailor-made for the modern NBA.
Timberwolves leading by 3. Al Russell. Johnson outside. Back to Russell. Lock at 6. And that one goes long. Toronto's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Powell. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Layman's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Beasley dishes to Russell. The shot misses. Some solid defense from Gasol. Now the Raptors moving it up. Powell against Beasley. Lowry from outside. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And Beasley, here we go. Count it. Beasley's got 7 points in the game.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Well, he's attacking, he's forcing the issue, and that's simply stated a terrific play.
And the Raptors with the ball after the basket by Minnesota. Lowry passes to Powell. 1:58 left in the first half. Lays it up off the glass. Powell's got his second basket of the night.
This is Powell at his best. In attack mode, he is hard to stop.
To the inside, and stolen by Siakam. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. With the floater, that's another miss. Number 4. He's 2 for 6 shooting. Siakam against Johnson. And the pass to Layman. Outside, Russell. Off target from outside.
I'll tell you, it has not been this guy's best night, but the teammates have been there to pick up the slack. Love it.
Toronto shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
And he makes both free throws.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
Johnson inside. Siakam's there, and there it is for him. 6 points for James Johnson.
And since the first quarter, we've seen them ease off on that long-range affair. And frankly, that's probably a good idea.
1:05 left to play here in the second quarter. Powell kicks to Siakam. Passes it to Lowry. Over in the corner, Gasol. And taken away by Johnson.
Got to recognize the situation, trying to get a 2-for-1.
Well, this is where the play call is crucial, right? If you're in a 2-for-1, you've got to get the first shot quickly.
It's deflected. Pass to Powell. That one good for 2. Powell's got 6 points.
Well, this guy very capable of capitalizing close to the rim. Norman Powell making an impact inside.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Towns. The putback. It's good on the putback. And it's 8 points for James Johnson.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
To the middle. Gasol inside. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves lead by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. James, you came out and you were really productive. In fact, the whole bench was productive.
Yeah, of course, you know, that's what the second unit's for. We go hard in practice. We know we can play with the best of them, and we just want to give our first guys the first group a lift.
You certainly did, James. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. They look like a more focused team in the second quarter, and what was an early deficit for them has turned into a 3-point lead at the break. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, I thought that turning point was when the bench came in. Those guys really hustled, and they gave the team some energy, and then they started to score baskets. That was a bonus.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
Well, they could be ahead in this game if they were taking care of the boards. More possession means more scoring opportunities. A few rebounds either way could decide the outcome of the game. Ultimately, this game will come down to who wants it more.
And that's a wrap with the third quarter.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. And what can you say? Towns, an impressive effort here.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Well, you can see why they would continue to play through him. He was tough to stop, super assertive down low, just great work.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. We've got D'Angelo Russell. Culver out there with Towns, and it's Hernan Gomez in at the 4-man position. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Now, here is Russell. To the wing on the left. Shot clock at 6. Towns, no luck. Raptors trail by 3. To the left wing. Here's Van Vliet. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Russell passes to Okogie. And stolen by Siakam. Goes up, and Siakam throws it down.
And that is what we call starting and finishing the break. Pascal Siakam, boy, is he fast up the floor.
Outside, Russell. Pass to Okogie. Back to Russell. Stolen by Van Vliet. Fast break Toronto for the lead. And Siakam with the layup. Siakam's got 12 in the game.
Well, Siakam pushing right through the contact. Go ahead, young sir. Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
And so Siakam will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, one of the things that the NBA has been forward-thinking about is always accepting new ideas. And they've got a bunch of them on the table in recent weeks. A mid-season tournament, a postseason play-in tournament, maybe even reducing the 82-game regular season schedule. Now, all of these would be very bold moves, but Commissioner Adam Silver has always demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box. Kevin?
DA, great assessment. Good report. Thank you so much. Here's Okogie. Following the basket by Pascal Siakam. 6 on the shot clock. Gasol with the steal. Siakam passes to Lowry. Gasol with it. Johnson outside. The pass to Van Vliet. Hits the three-point bomb.
Timeout.
Now it's a 6-point Toronto lead. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Towns.
And in the last 5 games, he's made a bunch of hustle plays on the glass more than anywhere else. His rebounding totals in these games shows a dramatic increase from his numbers during the rest of the season.
Now, here is Russell. Outside, Towns. Culver in the corner. Over Johnson. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Timberwolves trail by 6. It's Russell with the drive. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
Well, D'Angelo Russell, one of the best mid-range scorers you'll see. He's got the floater game, the pull-up game, and with his arsenal, he can get a shot at any time.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Ibaka comes in for Marc Gasol. And Anunoby subbed in for Pascal Siakam.
One shot.
Free throw good, Russell. And you know, Doris, another thing about D'Angelo Russell, he's not afraid of the big moment.
Kevin, he has proven that he is willing to take and make big shots. He doesn't necessarily beat you with tremendous athleticism, but it's his basketball skill that sets him apart.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's got 12. Passes it to Anunoby. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Ibaka outside. And it's blocked by Towns. Here's Okogie. He has 7. Culver's shot is off. Johnson against Russell. Johnson dishes to Ibaka. Left side Lowry with the shot. And the Raptors miss again.
And that's where you want to make the next pass. This guy is a good scorer, but the defense was right on him.
Russell kicks to Culver. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Culver's got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves.
Shooting off the catch is about confidence. There, Culver demonstrating how it's done.
Van Vliet looking around. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one is on Towns.
Well, there's a length and an intensity that Serge Ibaka brings to the table. And as a solid teammate who contributes on both ends, this is a guy you want on your team.
Throw good, Serge Ibaka.
And the move back to his more natural 5 position has rejuvenated Serge Ibaka. More room to operate offensively, and defensively he can stay in the paint where he's effective.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Spellman's checked in. And Ibaka's shooting ability, Doris, had enabled him to play some power forward, but his mobility was being tested.
Correct, because at Ibaka's size, it's tough to ask him to chase smaller guys around the perimeter. He is much better suited playing inside and protecting the rim. I think you saw that last season.
Here's Okogie. 7 points in the game. Russell. The rebound by Ibaka. Ibaka's got 7 rebounds in the game. Outside Lowry. Here's Anunoby. A rebound by the Timberwolves. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. And the basket by Okogie.
How about the timing? Can be the difference between an assist and a turnover. Nice delivery.
And here is Van Vliet. 12 points for him. To the wing right side. Here's Lowry. And the Raptors miss again. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Okogie. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
2 shots. Foul. Elbow. 2.
He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. The Raptors making a switch here. Powell's checked in. Both good from the line that time. Van Vliet with it. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Inside, and stolen by Russell. And here they come. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Up high to stop the alley-oop.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
Raptors trail by 4. Now here's Van Vliet. 12 points for him. Now Powell. Spellman with the rebound.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Unbelievable. That's the big cat. So fluid at the center position.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. To halt the run, the rebound by the Timberwolves. Spellman's got his 4th rebound in this one. Now, here's Culver. He's covered closely.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Towns with the steal. Culver with it, working on Ibaka. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And how about the attitude Culver's playing with right now, doing his best to make things happen on that drive. Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And Culver's game just screams potential. Already a good scorer, rebounder, and passer. Now the next step, improving that outside shot.
Toronto calls timeout.
Things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
Well, night in and night out, sometimes it's a battle of runs. Who has the most?
James Johnson checked in for Culver.
And taking a look here at the numbers for Beasley. How last month turned out for him, he's averaging 11 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
Van Vliet can't get it to go.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And it's blocked. They get it back. Kicks it out to Beasley. Johnson right side. Here's Spellman. And taken away by Johnson. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
Well, when you're careless with the basketball, you can expect that to happen.
And here are the Raptors now, trailing here by 8. Van Vliet up top. He's got 12. Johnson outside. The feed now to Beasley. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Beasley's got the lead up to 10 now for Minnesota.
Boy, that's a backbreaker. Takes it right into the rim and extends their lead.
You want to make sure your opponent knows they have absolutely zero chance of a comeback, and nice finish by him.
Here's Van Vliet following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Powell, no one around him. They need this one. Johnson with the block. Beasley outside. Out to the wing for the 3. No good that time. And Toronto will go the other way with it. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Tries again. That's tipped. Pass to Layman. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. It's rebounded by Anunoby.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Monday, they'll be taking on Paul Millsap and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Wednesday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Chicago against the Bulls.
And for that matchup against the Rockets, you know they're going to be amped up for that one. And they'll need to be. That's going to be one tough game for that group.
First one falls for him.
Well, one thing there's no question about is that Norman Powell is a gifted athlete. Now it's about rounding out that game, particularly his shooting.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Minnesota with the ball. They're on an 18-4 run right now. Over to the wing. Here's Layman. No points in the game yet for him. Down low. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. And the Timberwolves lead by 10. Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Powell finds Ibaka. And here is Powell. He's got 8. Just 5 on the clock. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Here's Van Vliet. His three-pointers off the mark.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And it's Van Vliet with the rebound.
Boy, that's too easy to miss, but somehow he finds a way to do it.
With some arc. Good D by Johnson.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Van Vliet kicks to Ibaka. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist. And 12 points for Serge Ibaka.
Well, a little bit of assertiveness from the native of Congo. Serge Ibaka has the green light.
And the Timberwolves call time here. And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred Van Vliet's not the biggest, but his toughness grade, his toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
Marcus All's checked in for Toronto. Pascal Siakam comes in for OG Anunoby. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And so he hits both. There's 1:17 left to play in the third. Van Vliet with it. He's got 12. Right side Gasol. He can't get that one to fall.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's Beasley on the wing, covered by Van Vliet. Culver passes to Layman. No good on the 3.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work on the board.
What about the decisive finish? Great timing, tremendous force.
Minnesota with the ball after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. A shot by Culver, nobody around. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Floats it up there for Siakam. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Pascal Siakam, the efficiency, the willingness to go ahead and pile up some points. Nicely done here.
On its way from Beasley for two. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's Minnesota with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We'll return shortly. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. On the court for Toronto to start the fourth. Lowry and Powell, the guards. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the three. It's good.
Want easy looks? Don't allow the defense to set up.
What a beautiful fast break opportunity, and the finish pretty good.
Here's Lowry. Looking to get back on track here. Got a hand on it, and he's able to get it back. Hollis Jefferson can't hit.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
Out to the right wing. Towns wide open. And there's a whistle. That goes on Hernangomez. That is his first foul of the game. Fred VanVleet is checked in for the Raptors. Raptors trail by 11. To the paint. Here's Siakam. And Siakam throws it down.
Well, Mr. Siakam can elevate well above the rim. Nicely done.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Back to Beasley. And it's Layman in the corner. And it's off from three-point range.
I'll tell you, despite his struggles at the offensive end, this team still finds themselves in control of the ball game.
And it's Toronto with the rebound.
And he's missed every single shot he's attempted today, but somehow they're still in the lead.
And the rejection by Towns. And that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession. Russell, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And Toronto also making a switch. Johnson's checked in. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. And Siakam throws it down.
When Kyle Lowry is aggressive as a playmaker, his team goes to a different level.
Russell with it. Lowry picks him up, and it's blocked. Fast break Toronto. Siakam's running. VanVleet can't get it to go.
After the strong first half, this guy has not been the same, and largely a no-show right here.
Right side, Russell. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. They get Marc Gasol.
This guy's a shifty player now. D'Angelo Russell adept at using various speeds to keep defenders off balance.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Okogie's checked in. And so VanVleet will bring it up for Toronto. 8-point game. It's stolen by Hernangomez. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
Here's Towns. Ahead. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Hernangomez has got 4 points this quarter.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
Raptors trail by 10. Siakam looking around. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Throw good, Siakam.
I think, guys, maybe what you appreciate most about Pascal Siakam is his versatility. He can score from a number of areas. He can guard multiple positions. There is a lot to like about this young man.
Now, here is Russell. Here's Okogie. He kicks to Culver. Lock at 6. Right wing. Here's Russell. A rebound by Gasol. Gasol's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. We're in the final quarter of play here. 3 minutes in. Left side Lowry.
And since halftime, he just doesn't have a clue when it comes to shooting.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. And Russell gets it to go. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
Okay, D'Angelo Russell mixing in a little interior work, not bashful.
Here's Van Vliet. Johnson outside. Back to Van Vliet. To the inside, Gasol. Second shot opportunity. Here's Siakam. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Siakam's got 9 points in the quarter.
I really like the way he's playing in this half. He looks so much more aggressive and confident.
The pass to Okogie. Back to Russell. Lets it go. Again, Russell missing.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Count that one from Van Vliet.
Way to create just enough separation to get that shot to go.
Well, to me, that's about skill overcoming size. And how about the fearlessness at the offensive end?
Now, here is Russell. Out to the right wing. Hernan Gomez passes to Okogie. Just 4 to shoot. Outside Russell. A 3-ball. But they recover it. Again, Russell missing. Raptors trail by 5. Passes it to Lowry. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, he may not have the physical tools that some other players have, but Kyle Lowry is physical. He's imposing his will, and he will take some contact. I think quickness has probably never been more important in the NBA, but you cannot overlook the value of strength. Think about a guy like Kyle Lowry. He's not the biggest, he's not the most explosive, but he's got strength and he's got that bulldog mentality.
And the first one drops. And Kyle Lowry, Doris, never shy about contact.
You're right, Kevin. Never shy on either end, offensively or defensively. Kyle Lowry will get into you. He is the tone setter with his physicality and his effort level.
And Kyle Lowry drops them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Now, here is Russell. To the right side. Hernan Gomez against Siakam. Shot clock at 5. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Serge Ibaka has checked in for Marc Gasol. So it's the Timberwolves now. After the miss from Serge Ibaka, here's Culver, and then Culver with the dunk.
How about the force there from Culver, making sure to finish with power, leaving no doubt with that finish.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. Ibaka outside. Van Vliet with it. Russell's there. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Minnesota leading by 5. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
Toronto's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Here's Siakam. Towns with the defensive effort for Minnesota. They've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th and even 50%. Pass to Russell. Trying to find Hernan Gomez. Gets it to him. Over Siakam. And there's another one for the Timberwolves.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
So it's Toronto now. They trail by 9 points. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Van Vliet. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one is on Towns.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Free throw good, Van Vliet. He's perfect from the line this time. And Minnesota has possession. They lead by 7. Russell looking around. Pass to Okogie. Now Towns. 6 to shoot. Stolen by Van Vliet. The drive by Lowry. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist. Van Vliet's got his 4th assist in this one.
Well, it's almost a sure thing when Kyle Lowry decides to drive hard to the cup. What a tremendous finisher on the move.
Here's Okogie. Now the pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Okogie. Lock at 6. 3-pointer. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Now Lowry. Toronto calls timeout.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Just feels like the basket is looking awfully small to them right now. They're having a hard time getting anything to fall.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And his shooting percentage reflects just how efficient he's been. It's better than 50%, always a sign of a solid offensive performance. But his movement and his shot selection have also both been tremendous.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Nick Nurse told his team. He was disappointed in the shot selection. He told them, stay patient on the offense. Make the extra pass. We don't have to make up the deficit all at once. We'll see if they start shooting a little better. Kevin?
Now, here is Russell. Following the miss by Pascal Siakam. Russell passes to Towns. He scores his 6th bucket from the floor with that one. He's shot the ball 11 times.
Well, Karl Anthony Towns is cooking right now, and the defense has nothing for him.
Raptors trail by 10. And here's Lowry. In the corner, it's Van Vliet. And again, no good by Toronto.
And it didn't fall, but that's the kind of shot they want their offense to create.
You know, it can be frustrating when you make the right play and fail to reap the rewards. You just have to stay with it here.
Minnesota leading by 10. Here's a Kobe. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Russell with the three. And rebounds again. This kind of effort is amazing.
And he will not be denied.
Toronto's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Here's Johnson. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns. Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Out left to the wing. Here's Okogie. Left side, Towns. Over Ibaka. Ibaka with some nice D. And it's Lowry with the ball. Brings it up for the Toronto Raptors. To end the cold streak. That shot off. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And taken away by Johnson. Outside Lowry. In the corner, it's Van Vliet. And a miss there on the triple.
Simply put, a bad shot, guys. They all know they can get a better look than that.
Here's Okogie. That shot missing. Excellent D there by Johnson.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Siakam misses. Minnesota leading by 10. Here's Okogie. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, this is what you're trying to do. Put the game away.
And he hasn't forced much tonight, Greg. I love the efficiency he's giving to them.
Not a lot of time left for the Raptors in this one. Lowry from outside. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. The Timberwolves shooting it well here in the fourth quarter at 50%. Plenty of space. And he hits the jump shot. And that's 15 points for Jarrett Culver.
That pass had to be thrown not only in the right spot, but at the right time.
1:32 left here in the... Lowry with the ball.
You know, you think about the most important players in Toronto Raptors history. Vince Carter probably number one. DeMar DeRozan would be on that list. But boy, Kyle Lowry has got to be there as well. Remarkable how far they've come since he joined the team back in 2012.
Minnesota shooting 43% from the field. Russell passes to Okogie. 1:15 left to play here in the fourth. He dishes it to Culver. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's hauled in by the Raptors. And the Raptors and Lowry both grew together, Doris, wouldn't you say?
A marriage made in heaven. Kyle Lowry has always played with a huge chip on his shoulder. He still carries that edge, but that maturity and leadership turned into a championship in Toronto. Doesn't get better than that.
Here's Okogie after the made shot from Kyle Lowry. Pass to Russell. Shoots over Van Vliet. Russell, no good.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
Gets it down to single digits.
I'll tell you, Pascal Siakam has shown he is more than capable of passing the rock.
And the Timberwolves with possession. 7-point differential. Now, here is Russell. Hernan Gomez passes to Culver. Here's Okogie. He's guarded by Johnson. Deep two from Russell. They can't stop the run with that one. There's the three. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. And so the Timberwolves take the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.